Synchronized kettlebell or dumbbell butterfly sit-ups for all divisions. It starts with both athletes sitting on the floor. Each athlete, their feet are staying together and their knees are outside. Both athletes have to touch the kettlebell dumbbell on their feet and on the floor behind their head. For a rep to count, the synchronized moment is when both athletes are touching the kettlebell or dumbbell on their feet. Synchronized push-ups with a plank hold. It starts with two athletes taking a plank hold position. The synchronized push-ups are being performed by two athletes on their hands and knees while their shoulders, hips, and knees are in one straight line. For a rep to count, you have to touch the floor with your chest and hips at the same time. When you push up, you have to fully lock out your arms and your body is in a straight line again. The synchronized moment is in the top position when both athletes are fully locked out. For the main and master division, all the movement standards are the same except on the way down. The push-ups are being performed on your hands and feet on the way down and on your hands and knees on the way up, while your body maintains one straight line. So always make sure you're back on your feet before you start the next repetition. For the top division, the push-ups movement standards are exactly the same, except you have to stay on your feet. Your chest and hips touch the floor at the same time. Single arm synchronized shoulder to overhead. It starts with the kettlebell or dumbbell on the shoulder, and the athlete pushes it overhead. You may bring it up in a strict press, a push press, or a push jerk. For a rep to count, the kettlebell or dumbbell must come to a full lockout overhead with hips, knees, and arms fully extended and in one line with the body, so the arm is next to the ear. The synchronized moment is when both athletes have the kettlebell or dumbbell in a full lockout overhead. Single arm synchronized hang clean. The athletes will bring the kettlebell or dumbbell from below the hips up to the shoulders. You may do this with a muscle clean, power clean, or a squat clean. For a rep to count, the kettlebell or the dumbbell has to be on the shoulder with the hips and legs fully extended. The synchronized moment is when both athletes have the kettlebell or dumbbell on their shoulder. Single arm synchronized ground to overhead. We are demonstrating the clean and jerk version. Both athletes will bring their kettlebell or dumbbell to their shoulders and then overhead. You can do this with a press or a jerk. For a rep to count, the kettlebell or dumbbell must come to a full lockout overhead with the hips, knees, and arm fully extended and in one line with the body. The arm is next to the ear. The synchronized moment is when both athletes have the kettlebell or dumbbell in a full lockout overhead. Single arm synchronized ground to overhead. We are demonstrating the snatch. Both athletes will bring their kettlebell or dumbbell directly in one line overhead. You can do this with a muscle snatch, power snatch, or a squat snatch. The athlete brings the kettlebell or dumbbell back to the floor. It must touch but cannot be pushed down into a bounce. The bell of the kettlebell needs to touch the floor, and for the dumbbell, at least one side needs to touch the floor. For a rep to count, the kettlebell or dumbbell must come to a full lockout overhead with hips, knees, and arm fully extended and in one line with the body. The arm is next to the ear. The synchronized moment is when both athletes have the kettlebell or dumbbell in a full lockout overhead.